Hi, I'm Paul DiBartolomeo with T&J Rescue Enterprises. We're here today to do another demonstration with the TL9 stabilizer. Here we have a vehicle rolled over with a partial ejection and an extremity pinned under the roof rail. All right, this individual is partially ejected from the car and his arm is pinned out under the roof rail. So we've got to perform a lifting operation to free that extremity. All right, we're going to show you a couple of methods that you can use with your hydraulic spreader to perform a quick, stable, and efficient lift to perform that extrication. As with anything we do, stabilization is paramount, especially with this vehicle on its roof. So the first thing we're going to want to do is set up some cribbing opposite the lift to stabilize this vehicle and prevent it from sliding away from us when we lift on the pin side here. So we're going to take a walk across to the other side of the vehicle, show you how we set up to stabilize this car. All right, so we're on the side opposite our lift, and we're going to demonstrate how we would stabilize this side of the vehicle. All right, the biggest challenge here with the rollover is that we're dealing with the roof on the ground. All right, the roof on the ground doesn't really provide a lot of friction. When the car's on its wheels and we got the tires on the ground, the car's a lot less likely to slide when we lift. All right, in this instance here, if we didn't do anything on this side of the vehicle and we started to lift, that roof being on the ground, the nose being on the ground, the car's going to want to slide this way, all right? All the weight is in the front, we'd probably get a torsional motion. So the guys are going to come in and they're going to create some ground contact and fill the voids essentially, all right? We're going to put a block and a wedge here in the triangle under the A post. We're going to block out under the B post, and we're going to try to get something in under the C post here, just so we create that stabilization, that counter crib, if you will, so we have that pivot point when we do our lift on the pin side. All right, so the guys are going to come in now and just crib up this vehicle for us. All right, so we got this side of the car stabilized. When we do our lift, we'll leave somebody over here to monitor this, make sure the cribbing stays tight, and if we get any kind of unwanted motion or slide, we'll put a stop on it and we'll readjust our cribbing. So now we're going to go back over to the pin side and discuss how we go about doing this lift and freeing that extremity. All right, so we're set up back on the pin side here to perform our lift. In a rollover like this, we've kind of got a tailor-made lift point for this operation. This area here where the A-post kind of comes in contact with the hood, I call that the triangle, is tailor-made for the TL9 and the spreader. We got plenty of ground clearance where we can come in, set up, and perform our lift right here. It's nice and solid up here on the fender, so that's a real good spot to lift. Typically in an operation like this, that's also a very good spot to crib, to capture our load. Obviously, if we're lifting there, we can't use it to stabilize. So what I like to do in this operation is just slide a step shock a little forward on the fender in the area of the shock tower. That's a pretty solid, stable area where we can slide that step shock in and capture the load in the front. Towards the rear, we're also going to want to have progress capture as we lift the car. If we run a step shock parallel to the roof rail, that's going to give us good, solid stability on the back side of the patient. All right, Zach is setting up in the triangle. He's going to start to come up as the guys chase it with the cribbing. All right, you see, we're starting to get lift right away. We've got that roof rail about 6 or 8 inches up off the ground. We've got plenty of height now where Steve can come in and extricate or free that extremity from out under the roof rail. All right, so the patient's arm has been extricated. We haven't really even impacted the limit pin on the TL9 yet. So what does that mean? That means that we have plenty of more capacity out of our spreader in the device to continue to lift if we needed to. Obviously, we only lift as high as we need to perform the extrication. What that gives us is the ability to lift higher. Say we had a person with their leg out the sunroof, pinned under the roof, and we really needed to get some good height to get under there and free that. We would have more than enough height in this application here to perform that extrication as well. All right, but the long story short is we were able to come in with the spreader in the TL9, some basic cribbing, and perform this lift in a matter of seconds. All right, so just to recap what we did here today, we had a vehicle rolled over with an extremity pinned under the roof rail. All right, First thing we did, probably the most important thing we did, was good solid cribbing on the opposite side of the lift, what I call counter cribbing, to prevent this vehicle from sliding on us and providing that pivot point as we lift over here. All right. The guys took advantage of this ready-made lifting pocket, the triangle here in the area of the A-post in the hood. Great spot for the spreader with the TL9, and they captured their load as they lifted up, and we were able to extricate that limb in a matter of seconds. All right, so I'm Paul DiBartolomeo from T&J Rescue Enterprises. Thank you for watching.